Shot.
In this review, we're going to talk about the hardwired prototype gear set. First, we'll go over how to actually get all the gear pieces, and then we'll go over the set bonuses, and at the end, I'll give you my overall impression of the hardwired prototype gear set. There's a lot to go over, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to have to do is complete the hardwired prototype goal project. Doing so will award you with the crafting blueprints for all 6 pieces of hardwired gear. This project requires you to collect 6 different components from the end bosses of 6 different missions. The list of missions seems to correlate directly with the list of components, so if you need the M component, you'll need to get it from the Grand Washington Hotel mission. If you need the C component, you'll get it at the Jefferson Trade Center, and so on. From my experience, I got a component to drop once out of every 3 or 4 mission completions on challenging difficulty. Hopefully you'll have better luck, but be prepared for some serious grindage. Aside from gathering the components, you'll also need to get hardwired tech. You can get the tech from killing Black Tusk enemies at Black Tusk activities or bounties. Once you have all the components and at least 10 hardwired tech, you can donate all to the project and finally get the blueprints for the hardwired prototype gear set. Now that you finally have the blueprints, the next thing you're going to have to do is craft each piece of gear. Each gear piece requires its corresponding component. M for mask, C for chest, B for backpack, and so on. So you're going to have to do some more grinding to get all the components again. You'll also need a total of 60 more tech from Black Tusk enemies to complete the set, 10 tech per gear piece. Aside from the special hardwired materials, it will also take a good chunk of your normal materials, so be ready for that. Alright, let's get into some of the fun stuff now and talk about the gear set bonuses. Once you equip 2 pieces of hardwired gear, you'll unlock the first set bonus, which gives your skills plus 20% health. At 3 pieces, you'll get plus 20% shock duration, and the 4th piece you equip will give you plus 20% more skill power. The 5th piece of hardwired gear you equip will unlock the Tamper-Proof Talent. This talent electrifies your deployed skills, like the Remote Pulse or Stinger Hive. So if an enemy gets too close to your deployed skill, they'll get electrocuted for around 5 seconds or so. Once you equip all 6 pieces of the hardwired prototype gear set, you'll unlock the final talent called Feedback Loop. This talent comes with 3 perks, so let's start at the top and work our way down. Killing with a skill resets the cooldown of your other skills. So for example, if you get a kill with a cluster seeker mine, your secondary skill's cooldown will automatically be refreshed. This can be especially effective if you're using 2 skills that deal damage. Essentially, you could spam kills back and forth between the 2 skills as long as you get a kill each time. The next perk is if you repair an ally's armor from 0, your skills will refresh, but you can only perform this once every 15 seconds. The most surefire way to do this is to have a healing skill activated while reviving an ally. Once your ally is revived, your healing skill will replenish his or her armor from 0. The last part of this talent boosts your skill damage and skill healing for 15 seconds after a cooldown is refreshed. So whenever a cooldown ends on one of your skills, you'll get a slight boost to skill damage and healing effects. If I had to rate this gear set out of a possible 10 points, I would give it a 6. The most problematic aspect of this gear set is simply the amount of time it takes to actually craft. Once you finally get to craft a gear piece, you'll have to rely on RNG to get you as close to a perfect gear score as possible. I'm the type of person who has terrible luck with RNG, so the hardwired prototype gear set I'm using in this review is pretty low level, even after recalibrating attributes for more skill power. I have another skill power build that I actually prefer to use that's made up of normal pieces of gear, which is kind of sad because I think most people would assume that the hardwired set would be the way to go for skill power builds. I suppose that if you managed to get a full set of hardwired gear with a gear score over 480, or at the very least a set that allows you to reach 3000 skill power, you might have a more positive experience than I have. You'll need 3000 skill power to use high-end skill mods, and as you can see, I can only manage to reach 2700 skill power, even after recalibrating my gear for as much skill power as possible, so I wish you better luck than I had during the crafting process. The plus 20% skill health and the plus 20% skill power are nice, but the Tamper-Proof Talent is kind of lame. An enemy will only get electrocuted if they get really close to the deployed skill, which is kind of rare. The Feedback Loop Talent could be extremely powerful if you decide to rock 2 heavily modded damage-dealing skills. If you get a kill with one skill, it refreshes the cooldown of your other skill, so you could just keep spamming skills as long as you get a kill with each one. Other than that though, I do think you could get a better setup with the talents that are available on normal pieces of high-end gear. So what do you think? Is 6 out of 10 a fair score, or am I being too harsh? Let us know what you think in the comments section. If you like this video, please consider dropping a thumbs up on it, and if you want to support this channel, please consider subscribing. That would help out the Havoc Gaming channel a lot. Thanks for watching, and Godspeed.